The Stars and Stripes Conference is looking to be a conference with very strong offenses and strong defensive players. This is part 2 to my Haters Guide series for the Allegiance Collegiate School Association. The ACSA was created by JohnJake Gaming. If you want to see part 2 of his reveal, a link is in the description below along with his channel. The Haters Guide idea was created by a fellow YouTuber, UrinatingTree. His channel will also be down below as well. Please be sure to like this video and subscribe for more ACSA Haters Guide videos. With this conference ranging from the Carolinas to the Mojave Desert, let's see what these 14 teams have in store for us. The first team to go over in the Stars and Stripes Conference are the Darden Jaguars. This team is very offensive oriented as they have multiple ways that they can win games this season. They have two running backs in Mark Hunter and DeAndre McNeil. Mark Hunter is a very speedy running back, which can be used for even jet sweeps, while McNeil is more of a power back and can be relied on in those 4th and 1 and inches moments, or if you want to go for some goal line scores. They also have Tyrod Taylor. Wait, what? Tyrod Taylor? I didn't realize he cloned himself. Either that or he went back to college. But in all seriousness, he should be pretty good just like his real-life counterpart. He does have some nice targets in Carl Byers and Hosey Loving. In terms of the defense, it will rely on defensive back Kendall Thomas, a very physical one that I can imagine will intimidate some wide receivers this year, and even decide to give a good few teams a licking. In terms of our next team in the conference, the Franklinton Red Rams, there's not really a whole lot to say, but just because I say that for right now, that doesn't mean they don't have a bright future. Most of their better players are going to be sophomores and freshmen on this squad. Brett Huntsman is a very good senior leader on the offensive line, so they should be clicking on that front. They also have a true freshman quarterback in Derek White. I think from some of the film that we've seen so far in high school, he should be an okay player and should fit decently. Although, I'll be honest, this may be a quiet season. Although I wouldn't be surprised if in a couple seasons, this team comes out of the shadows and may be competing for the Stars and Stripes East Division title. Going from North Carolina to Texas, we stop at Houston to see the Red Bears. There are a few nice weapons here that they have. One, of course, being Kirk Hopkins, a wide receiver there, and if developed properly, can be a possible NFL player. He does have some really good speed and also some hands, which makes him a very good wide receiver, and I would hope be smoking some good cornerbacks both this Saturday and also on Sundays. Marcus Thomas is also a good quarterback, but I'm not sure about that. Hopefully he can stay off the injury reserve list. Hopefully. Greg Nyler, the heart and soul of the defense, along with two running backs in Graham Benson and Ryan Fletcher, hope to solidify the defense. Although there's not really a whole lot to say in terms of offense, that may be their big downfall in this. While they could surprise teams, I'm just not sure of it, I'll be honest. They may need to win against some of the other West teams to prove me wrong, and there are quite a few of them. Wait, do you hear that? I think I hear a unanimous cry from Jackson Jacker fans that could be their fate. It's not a very good one. Honestly, this team is one of the biggest jokes in the entire ACSA. But Kilo, I hear you guys say. What makes them so bad? Well, I'll tell you. It's really their entire core. Yeah, there are some key players like wide receiver Jared Adams that has some good speed, but even then, he's not really that good when you compare him to the rest of the conference. And honestly, Devin Harris at quarterback is okay, but I'll be honest, he's definitely not a great quarterback compared to some of the others in the conference as well. Honestly, the Jackers are going to have to really throw a Hail Mary here for recruiting to get some guys and hopefully get this ship in the right direction. Honestly, I might as well prepare for Tank Bowl and fully embrace the suck if I'm you guys. Sorry, you guys are just flat out effed. Welcome to Sin City, home of the Las Vegas Aces. Kamal Benjamin is going to be the quarterback of the future for this Vegas team. Although he is a little bit lighter than expected at 196, he should have a very impressive season, and honestly has a lot of pro potential to him. He also has some very good wide receiving core as well, with senior Adam Haskins and also Corey Henry, who is under Haskins' wing and can be just as good, if not maybe even better, once Haskins graduates. John Scurry is also a solid running back for them as well. However, there is, of course, like anything in Sin City, a bit of a controversy here with the tight ends. Although it should be interesting to see who comes out on top for Week 1. However, unlike the Scarlet Stains, one will graduate, so there's no really a fear here as for like possible transfers. Honestly, they could be a favorite to win the Stars and Stripes Conference, although they're going to have to get past their other Nevada team. We'll get to them later. Louisiana Central's goal was to get out of the basement this year, and did they succeed in that? I would say so. I mean, they even got Eric Rivers, a local Baton Rouge product. He should be very entertaining to watch as a wide receiver. They also managed to get Daniel Durant back after what many feared was going to be a season and even borderline career-ending injury. But he's back in the fold and hopefully better and stronger than ever. I just hope that the offensive line, like Carl Watson, can keep him healthy. They also managed to get a very good running back from the JUCO system in A.J. Reed. Honestly, things could be starting to get in the right direction. If they can beat some of the teams that are honestly kind of suspect in the West, they could surprise some people. Although at the same time, like I've said before, it's going to be a very stacked Stars and Stripes West Division. When you think of an upper class heavy team, you would think that this team would be good, right? Well, then I would point you in the direction of the Nashville Generals. What was the cause of this? Well, simple. Recruits that they thought were going to be really good and get them over the top just flat out flopping. Honestly, the rebuild is in sight, and they're going to have to recruit very heavy and very quickly as well. Honestly, the only form of life that this team has is Joe Hampton and Adam Swime, both seniors, which just even puts even more stress on this team. All we're going to say is just don't lose to the Jackson Jackers. If you do, you'll get the sworn and also the laughter of everybody in the Stars and Stripe Conference. And that would be saying something. Welcome to the off-season champions known as the Oxford Chargers. Delano Guthrie, a strong high school running back, committed to the team and honestly has massive amount of hype. Timmy Bird looks like he is ready to go and improve on an already good freshman campaign. John Ike looks like he'll be a key target and also has shown signs of improvement as well in spring ball. Benedict Ferrell looks to solidify the offensive line. Malik Willie was really the key thing that the Chargers desperately needed. They needed a kicker. A couple of games last year were really decided by extra points. Hopefully they can do a lot better, unlike their Spanos counterpart. they honestly could be a surprise pick for the Stars and Stripes Conference in the East Division. Although, not only that, but they also are on the upswing. Either that, or honestly, it could be a bunch of preseason hype. I'll let you decide. Things were looking very good here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Corey Davis had a great freshman season and can improve on his already big all-freshman accolade. David Hong, a running back for his senior season, also got a new buddy to work with in Jordan Collick, a true freshman. And honestly, these two are going to be dangerous little devils for teams to deal with this season. But it's not just running backs that is the thing to worry about for the Red Rams. It's also their wide receiving. They have Kyle Utter and Shaquille Byrne, both of which are a very good combo. They also got Trey Moline back in linebacker, who honestly is very good at containing the run and stopping the pass. If they can do very well, honestly they could surprise a few teams, although I do have my worries on defense. I don't think that Trey's going to be the only one that has to carry this team. There just needs to be some other players to help him out on this. Sure, the offense looks good, but, as the old saying goes, offense sells tickets and defense wins championships. The Savannah Bison are looking to honestly claim the East Division crown, and they have some good pieces here to do it. CJ Smith has some fantastic speed and endurance for a wide receiver. Carlos Clement also will play a key role to any success Savannah will have this year. Running back Sebastian Young looks to help out in the backfield to get some important yards this season, something that was missing last year. Deion Burton is one of the best DBs in the conference and coming off of a good freshman season. Roy Woodley is a junior defensive lineman who has done well in stuffing the run in his first 2 seasons in Savannah. DJ Brendel looks to be a great red zone player from his high school film that the Bison can utilize. Honestly, the real question is going to be on Ben Epstein. He may be the final piece to this Rubik's Cube. If he was as good as he was in the high school, he could help the Bison contend for the Stars and Stripes Conference titles, hopefully for some time. If not, he could be a bust and result in the puzzle just flat out falling apart. If everything goes right, they could go into a conference championship earlier than we all anticipate. The Southwestern New Mexico Hellhounds are hoping to be on a better track. Honestly, though, it just may not be this season. While Chris Stern has proven to be one of the best running backs the Hounds have had for some time, and they are looking forward to Christian Wade having a strong junior year, of course, if he can avoid injury, he may be able to contribute to a bit of Southwestern New Mexico's success. The big issue with this team is they're not as fast as their Stars and Stripes Conference counterparts, which is kind of a big deal because honestly, this team is slow, really slow to watch. Even my grandmother, who isn't alive anymore, could move at a quicker pace at times compared to this team in spring ball. They're going to need to really retool quickly, or else they may be going through another era of winless seasons once again. The battle for Nevada continues as Spring Creek and honestly Las Vegas made some very interesting moves. Although honestly Spring Creek may have been the big winners of it. Ben Key will be the leader for the offensive line and push the offense forward. Zarsis Cook is looking to be in the hunt for the Best Defensive Back award again. What the Moose can beat their Sin City rivals on are some of its new freshman acquisitions. Rodney Mead in running back, a pancake maker in Benny Worship, and tight end prospect BJ Mustafa. The piece de resistance of prospects in this recruiting class is quarterback Jamil Barr, a Las Vegas product who chose the Moose over the Aces and looking to keep Moose domination going for 4 more years. Honestly, that should be a very, very interesting homecoming when they have to play the Aces. Tulsa Christian, after years of mediocrity, is finally starting to get on the upswing. After losing key running backs to graduation, the Pioneers needed to find a new Aaron quick. They may have found it in JJ Duralve. While quick and still raw, he will need some time to understand the system, but can, if developed properly of course, can be somebody worth watching by his junior year, and could also have some NFL prospects looking at him. Matt Tybeu will be the heart of the Tulsa Christian wideouts. This will be his last chance to impress some professional recruits. John Lagamore has been a bargain of a player during his tenure as a Pioneer linebacker. He should get some appreciation for a few conference awards. TJ Reed is a very experienced quarterback, as the Pioneers will need to keep him healthy and avoid injury in an already stacked Stars and Stripes West Division. Troy Holt could look like a Rookie of the Year candidate as a defensive back, along with defensive lineman Jordan Hill. Hopefully they can maybe share some of those accolades. Overall, while not in the spotlight like Las Vegas or even Spring Creek, you can't count out Tulsa Christian. The last team to go over in the Stars and Stripes Conference is that of Texas Rio Grande Valley. There is something nice brewing over in the Texas-Mexico border town. AJ Thomas and Chad Ganuma and Michael Barnes will be dangerous weapons for UTRGV this fall. The offensive line looks to be as solid as ever, with Levante Brism and Ronald Smith taking some wrestling lessons during the offseason. Hopefully they can put those to good use, as there are some good defenses in the Stars and Stripes West Division. Darren Mooney, who had a breakout season a year before, looks to improve on his last season. Despite some older experienced players, there is a new quarterback for UTRGV this season in Michael Bodine. While he was a backup his freshman year, he still looks rather raw and is being thrown into the ring on offense. Honestly, this could end one of two ways. He could either defy all expectations and be the keystone to a very good West Division crown, or turn into a spinning mess, resulting in him getting benched. Honestly, it should be fascinating to see how this goes out. In terms of the Stars and Stripes Conference, it should be rather interesting to see. I honestly have them divided into 2 divisions to determine who is going to be in the conference championship game. In the East, I have the following pecking order. Jackson will be in last place, followed by the Nashville Generals. They will be a little bit worse than the Franklinton Red Rams. Darden will fall right in the middle, as Raleigh will do a little bit better, honestly, because I think they will also win that Franklinton Red Ram matchup. The following 2 teams between Savannah and Oxford will be interesting, although who I think is the better team, I think Savannah does well despite Oxford having a really good offseason. In terms of the West, it's really more of a who I think looks like the more complete team. Who isn't? Well, the Southwestern New Mexico Hellhounds aren't, and I think they'll be dead last. Followed by Louisiana Central and UTRGV. In terms of the top 4, Houston Tech is really making an interesting case, along with Tulsa Christian. Although Tulsa Christian may look better than in years past, I just don't think they're quite ready to clinch a title. So it's honestly going to come down to the Battle of Nevada, and we all know how that's probably going to go. Yeah, I think Spring Creek is probably going to outbest Las Vegas Aces. So the championship game is going to be between the Spring Creek Moose and the Savannah Bison. While it will be an interesting matchup to watch, I honestly think the Moose will slightly be on top. I just think they're too good of a team and could honestly maybe at the end of the year be in the top 25, I'll be honest with you. I'm sorry if I jinxed anybody's team. Honestly, you watch. One of these other teams is going to come out. Either Oxford or Las Vegas. My sincere condolences.